Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Alive here, and we're back with another episode of Let's Build. And in today's video, we're going to be building a Gulpee Factory Boomerang, dual synchronized boomerang coasters. So, stay tuned, and let's check it out. Alright, so we're going to do 8 times speed. I read in the comments the last time I did this that somebody said it was a little bit too fast. I think I normally do these at 8 times speed and everyone seems to be okay with it. Based off of the amount of footage I have here, I figured 3 20-minute episodes should be enough to get us through building this entire thing. So that's what it's going to be today, guys. We're going to be doing a 3-part series building a Gulpee Boomerang coaster. So the concept behind this is, I didn't record the process of making the boomerangs themselves. I was just kind of tinkering off camera and trying to come up with the design that I wanted. And at first I tried the corkscrew style boomerang. I'm not sure the name of it. And then I ended up deciding to go with the inverted giant boomerang because the lift goes straight up, which allows me to make it even more compact. So with this thing, the thing I used to do in RCT1, one of my favorite things to do was create a launched coaster that did 2 loops and then went straight up in the air and kind of spiraled. I actually have a Let's Play, I think it was Dynamite Peaks. I have a Let's Play on my channel where you guys could go check it out. I did a player versus player with my cousin Cody for RCT1, and we both start an objective at the same time. We'd build, and then we would both stop as soon as the 3 or 4 years of the scenario time ran out. Then we would start recording and we would do essentially a show and tell. You can see this concept here of this coaster in my Lightning Peaks video. Essentially I made a green one and a blue one. Whenever I play games with my cousin, I'm usually blue and he's green, and that's been our thing. And just so happens that Gulpee Soda is green and Gulpee Energy is blue. So essentially that's the style. It's pretty much the exact same coasters you can find in my RTC1 playthrough. There are 2 boomerangs that basically launch out, do 2 loops, go up and spiral. The only difference is this one is an actual lift, so it lifts you backwards. So I wanted to go with that theme, and the reason I'm doing this boomerang coaster, guys, is Channel 5 Gaming is hosting a boomerang competition for our Discord right now, and the rules are essentially 4K blueprint. It's a boomerang, and you had 3 weeks to do it. There's at the time of this recording, there's about a week left. I think it's May 12th on a Friday when the contest closes. We'll do our judging. This time, because there's so many good creations, I might actually record the judging process. Let me know down in the description below, in the comments below, if you guys would like to see the judging process. We're not going to be, when we do the judging, we keep the scores anonymous, so none of us can see the other judges' scores, and then we kind of go and have a discussion afterwards. But if I did record it, what I would end up doing is when we look at it, we maybe have a quick discussion about it, we ride it, I would just take little clips from there, and it would be much more rapid fire. Because last time I think we judged 22 go-karts for the go-kart competition, and I think it took us about 2 or 3 hours to get through the whole process with setup and all that. So when we do the boomerang contest, it'll probably be just as lengthy, and if I have a lot of footage, probably be just best if I, this is the coaster, the name of the person, the name of the coaster, and we take a look at it, we ride it, and then I just cut the footage to the next one. That way you'll get to see all the contestants in one video. Probably be a really epically long video, but if it's something you guys are interested in, I figure why not throw it up there. So I think that's a cool idea. But anyways, for these contests, I like to participate alongside. So for I did a go-kart. You guys saw the Channel 5 Gaming Planet Coaster go-karts. It just so happened there was a Planet Coaster go-kart competition going, so I did that and just made sure I met the requirements for that. And this time there is no contest. I'm still going to participate. So I made these boomerangs, and I give you guys the little backstory behind why I made them this way. And the neat thing about this boomerang coaster is it doesn't have a lift on the reverse side. So when it gets to the end, it doesn't lift again. It simply just comes back. That's the reason I did it that way, is because that's the way I did it in RCT1. I wanted to do a Gulpee themed for some reason, because it gave me the green and blue, which I had in the older one. And you guys know me, I'm building a sci-fi series, And I like to build like industrial buildings, commercial buildings, you know, so like that one you see off to the side there, that's Planet Gulpee. It's a commercial kind of 7-Eleven with a Gulpee theme. They sell donuts, coffee, and Slurpees there and stuff like that. I always wanted to do a Gulpee factory where it's like they're brewing the Gulpee sodas and energy drinks and stuff there. So this gave me an opportunity to do both the Gulpee factory shop, like the manufacturing facility, the distribution thing, and also build a boomerang coaster. So it's kind of a 2-for-1, and it gets something off my checklist for my sci-fi universe collection. So we're going to be going with the same theme that I've done with all my sci-fi stuff so far. So that's what you see me doing here, using the vinyl plastic, the sci-fi pieces, and I'm just gonna sci-fi the heck out of this. And I wanted it to be just a big, giant manufacturing company, or whatever you call it. It's where they produce all the Gulpee Soda and energy soda. So I'm just trying to build the basic building shape, but I want to be integrated into the coaster. So this part here, I'm trying to block out, because they do the double loops, and I'm trying to block out like how it would go into the building. I had this idea in my head where I wanted to submerge the guests in water, and I know that's unrealistic and it'd probably kill the people, but we're kind of faking it. They don't really go into any liquid, obviously, because you can't add liquid in this game, but essentially they're going to drop into colored rooms, and those colored rooms are full of bubbles, and we'll have water effects splashing them. So really they're just dropping into a colored room, and but they do have to pass through a colored panel in order to really get that effect that I was going for. One thing I forgot to mention that I wanted to talk about in the beginning of this episode, the coaster design there, having them mirrored, was actually really tricky to do. You can see I had all these like basic shapes on the tops to make sure that they're aligned. Because they're mirrored, I can't I blueprinted it and copied it and put it beside it, but it still had to be redone because the loops are supposed to go in the opposite mirrored directions. So getting them just right, matching, if one was like just half a foot up in game than the other one, they were no longer synchronized perfectly. They didn't come back into the station. And just getting these two simple designs to where they're at right now and having them perfectly synchronized from the start to the finish took me quite a bit of tinkering and playing around with. So if you're trying to go with symmetrical mirrored coasters, I'm telling you now, it's going to be a headache unless you're using like the exact size, same pieces, and you're not doing any smoothing, and you're just kind of like angle snapping it all. That might make it easy, but because the scaling doesn't really click, doesn't snap to certain points, if you're making certain loops and inversions and stuff like that and spirals, you're never going to quite get the exact on the other one. And it's going to take a lot of fiddling. You're going to have to use basic shapes to try and like calculate and line it up. And just telling you guys now, just doing the simple double inversion to a spiral at the top was quite difficult to get them aligned. But once I got it, I was like, all right, this is cool. And I started coming up with my ideas. I built that boarding station. We flew through it at the beginning. Now, all this stuff is very bare bones and basic right now. It's pretty much just walls and roofing pieces and stuff like that. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you guys saw, if you're watching this now, I've already uploaded the creation of a Gulpee statue and a big giant Gulpee sign. There was those speed builds where I wasn't talking. I just figured, you know, they're quick, simple. There wasn't much to talk about in those episodes, and I wanted to save the thoughts that I had in my head for discussion for these videos. So I didn't want to kind of wear you guys out in the whole discussion. So I decided to just put some music in the background and do speed builds. Well, those Gulpees and the Gulpee signs are all for this, because I wanted this to be the giant Gulpee manufacturing place. I needed a big Gulpee sign, and I thought it would be great to have a Gulpee statue. Everything that represents Gulpee, I wanted to incorporate as much characteristics, character and personality into this build as possible. And you can see these signs are just way too small. They don't give you enough sign options and sizes. So we built our own, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So here I'm just like try to block out some ideas for the color. Like I knew that these were going to be tanks. In order to do that, it would need an inside shell and an outside shell. So the walls that I'm building there that are pure color, they're basically the inside shells. So when the coaster goes into the factory, it's giving you the illusion that you're inside this green soda room, and same with the other one, it's in the blue energy. So I wasn't sure whether the soda would be yellow or green. In some cases, probably make more sense if it was yellow. Both the energy and the soda use a green and yellow theme and a blue and yellow theme. So I just felt it would be fitting to make sure one was green and one was blue, and it would really help with my theme a lot more. That's what I ended up going with, and I think it's a little bit neat thinking about it like that. Some person's mowing the lawn outside, guys. Sorry if that ends up coming through the mic. I really hope it doesn't. I'm just trying to block out the connecting one building to the other. So the boarding station there is kind of like the warehouse, is the way I imagined it. It's where the guests get on, and it would essentially be where they stack up cases of juice and stuff like that. And then the other half of the building is where the vats are, and that's where they're creating it. I wanted it to feel like there was a lot of traffic on the front and back, and then I wanted to connect the buildings and make them also have sense, make them make sense. So what you'll see at the end by the final result, there's actually like elevators for staff to go up, and like they can go work on the vats, like change the settings, the pressure valves and all that stuff, and there's catwalks and stuff like that, elevators, and they can basically navigate the entire building. And we put a couple shops in, just one on each side, one for the soda and one for the energy. I didn't want it to be like a commercial place that you go shopping at, but it's kind of like, oh, we made a fresh batch of soda, come try it. So it's just kind of like they're giving samples out. It's not really a Gulpee. It's not like My Planet Gulpee where you go to buy it, and it's a very commercial feeling place. So I wanted to keep it nice and simple. So one shop for each side, and it gives the guests something to buy before they get in queue. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the way it turned out, and I had a lot of fun with this one. And like I said, it's allowed me to get back into the sci-fi universe, and I have, a whole bunch of ideas. I didn't really get to explore the Gulpee so much yet. Like I did the giant T-Rex Gulpee and the Gulpee, what was it, the guard stand thing that I did, and Planet Gulpee. But Gulpee is so vast. There's the Gulpee Slurpee, the energy, and now the soda. And a little fun fact for you guys, the mascot, the entertainer, Gulpee, he's always had the green shirt with the orange on it. So he was wearing the Gulpee Soda shirt since the beginning of the game's release. And I was always wondering, like, why does he have a green shirt when Gulpee's pink and blue? Well, that's why, because they were planning on doing a Gulpee Soda from the very beginning, and we didn't get it until the winter update. So obviously it just didn't make it into the game for release, which is kind of strange, because you think it would have been the first one they would have made, because it would have matched their entertainer. But nonetheless, it's in the game now, and I haven't given it any love yet. So what I might do in some time in the next few weeks, I might make a Gulpee, like I did my Planet Gulpee, but it's kind of a combination of a 7-Eleven. It's I had a donuts out front, but you can't, at the time I made it, there was no Missy Good shop. So I just thought, like, okay, it's a 7-Eleven, what do you go there for? You get donuts, hot dogs, and Slurpees. So on the inside there's hot dogs, Slurpees, and that sort of thing. And it's more of like a 7-Eleven rather than a Gulpee place. So it is named Planet Gulpee, but I feel like now I could do a better job. So I'm thinking I might do a commercial style Gulpee place where you just go there and they have 3 different kinds of Gulpee drinks, and make it very commercial feeling. I might just do like a different spin-off of Gulpee, Planet Gulpee. But now we have the manufacturing place, we have the Planet Gulpee, we have the giant Gulpee T-Rex, we have basically industrial, commercial, research and development. I just feel like it would be good to give it one last big commercial building, and we'll be good to go. I do want to also make small mini individuals, because I make small, medium, and large. So maybe what the next one could be is, because since Planet Gulpee is the large one, we could do a medium-sized little Gulpee place that's, you just go there and it's a drink shop, and it could be a medium-sized one. And then I'll do individual miniature ones, one Gulpee, one Slurpee, and one Energy, and then we'll be done with the whole Gulpee stuff. So I'm happy to have this being my industrial / coaster built into it. So it really allowed me to have some fun with the Gulpee. And after doing this, I'm feeling like Street Fox Coffee still needs a little bit more love from me. I'd like a big giant place for coffee, and maybe mix in some coffee and donuts in there. I don't have any like coffee brewing factory yet, so that could be a thing. So yeah, I have all these ideas running through my mind for the sci-fi universe, and I'm having a lot of fun with this. So I'm looking forward to getting back into it, and this kind of inspired me to do that. And you guys saw from the go-karts that I built, it was I did the Planet Coaster theme, and I am enjoying that, but I'm gonna have that off to the side because I started something big with the sci-fi collection series. And with sci-fi, I feel like there's a lot of variety because you have the research development, you have the industrial, you have the commercial, and there's so many different sizes that you can make of them all that I really did tackle the biggest set. And even if you compare the sci-fi pieces to any other of the kits, the sci-fi actually has the most amount of pieces in the game. There's a lot more to filter through and look through in terms of what you can build. So it's giving me so many combinations and possibilities that it's going to take a lot of time to get through it. And so I bit off a little bit more than I could chew with this sci-fi pack. I think once I'm done that sci-fi pack, it'll be fun to move on and see what I could do for fantasy and Planet Coaster theme, like you saw me do with the go-karts. But I feel like the Planet Coaster theme is a little bit close to what I'm doing with this. It's going to be a little bit more modern. Everything, sure, there's not going to be an industrial sector for it. It's going to be mostly commercial diners and buildings like that. But it's too similar to sci-fi. So I think once I'm finished this whole sci-fi series that I've been working on since the game came out, I'm going to be moving on to, I think, fantasy. That'll be fun. Anyways, I'm running out of footage here, guys. That's pretty much going to do it for this episode. Come check out part 2. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more daily Planet Coaster videos. And if you want to support the show, you can do so by becoming a patron or leaving a donation down in the description below. All right, everybody, have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next part 2. Bye now.